Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I almost said to Saturday Morning Duger, which would have been confusing. Music seems a bit loud. Hold on. I'm turning it down just a little bit more. Hi, guys. Hello. No, I am not the one who is sick. I am not the one who knocks. I am not the one who is sick. My poor kiddo has had a fever for 3 days. And you know, we keep double checking and looking it up, and it's like, if the fever is like in this range, it's totally normal for a kid to have a fever for like 3 or 4 days. If it persists past that, then like look into bringing them in. But I know, poor kiddo. She keeps like, I'm not too worried because again, she is still eating. She's eating less than she was. And her fever like does break occasionally, and then she'll feel amazing and like play for a while, and then she'll be like, Mommy, I'm tired. Mommy, I'm tired. I'm gonna go sit on the couch. So yeah, it's like ups and downs each day. There hasn't been, well, yesterday she didn't feel great for basically the entire day. Today she woke up and felt totally fine. And then hilariously it was we got a salad spinner because I thought to myself, this is something that Clark could do and probably have a blast with. So I was like, in my efforts to like prep up vegetables and stuff and like fruit and things, basically the second that we get them home, it's like, that's something that Clarky could do. I could chop stuff up, put it in the spinner, and she could like slam it, right? So she was playing around with the spinner because I made 4 little personal sized chicken pies this morning. So we have a couple of those for dinner and a couple to go in the freezer. But we were like chopping up a bunch of stuff and she was like going ham on it, and then she suddenly goes, Mommy, that made me tired. And I was like, okay. And she was like, can I sit on the couch and watch YouTube? I was like, yeah, honey, of course you can. So she just curled up on the couch and wrapped up in a blankie, just looking so upset. I was like, can I give you a little kiss? And she was like, no. Got it. Message received. I know, it's so weird. It's so weird to have a Clarky that for 3 days now has mostly been like, leave me alone. I'm on the couch. I'm watching some kind of fucking weird show. I've got my eye mask on retainer. It's ready to go. I know. At one point, I felt like she like pulled a trick on me, and I told her so. But she like put her eye mask on, and I was like, "Can I feel your forehead to like see how like what your temperature is?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Okay, can I take your temperature?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Well, I have to do one of those because I need to. It's my job to make sure that you're okay, and I need to be monitoring like how hot you are, right?" like the ones that people wear to bed. I got her an eye mask and she loves it. She takes it everywhere with her. It's almost like it showed up at just the right time because it's like a cue now where she'll be like, Mommy, I'm putting on my eye mask. And I know that means that she's reached like critical mass and is like, I'm going to try to sleep. I'm putting my mask on. I'll be like, okay. It's very cute. You never know what's going to work for kids. You just never know. Anyways, so she would put her mask on and we were having this tete-a-tete, if you will. And I said, okay, can I kiss your forehead? Because I'll also be able to tell how hot you are if I kiss your forehead instead. And she was like, okay, but I have my mask on. And I was like, I know, don't worry. So I like moved the mask to kiss her forehead, and she goes, no, mommy, you have to kiss my forehead the way it is. And I was like, you want me to kiss the mask? And she was like, yeah. It's like, Clark, I can't tell how hot you are through the mask. And so I finally just like I had smooched her forehead the first time anyway, but she like asked me to do it again, and I kissed the mask, and then she laughed at me and goes, you didn't kiss my forehead, you kissed the mask, silly mommy. I was like, you got me. Damn, I got tricked. What a goof. Got him. I know. Oh my god. Sam went to eat somewhere with his brother last night. His brother and his dad. And he sent me the menu, and he was like, do you want anything? And on this menu were garlic miso butter greens, and I was like, get me that, please. That sounds incredible. And it was. And it's all I've been thinking about all day. I'm like, how do I make that? I think I know how to make that. Like, I think I can figure that out. There's miso, butter, and garlic. I feel like those are the most important things. And they were on green beans. It was just green beans. Holy shit. It was incredible. So I'm like, I might try to make those. I might try to do that myself. Still pulling goofs while under the weather. Yeah, so here's another one, just really quickly. Is last night, at a certain point, she asked if she could sleep in our bed, which she's sick. I don't mind at all. So Sam had actually laid in bed with her while I was doing the Goblins episode last night. And then we swapped. And I got into bed with her. And at a certain point, she like snuggled really close to me. And I was like, honey, I gotta be honest with you. Because she was like a little bit awake. It's like, I gotta be honest with you. I'm a bit stanky. And she started laughing so hard. I was like, mommy, what? I was like, I'm real stinky. I'm a bit stinky right now. And she was like cry laughing. She thinks I'm so funny when she's sick. She thought, like, she kept asking me to say it again. It's amazing. Sam said it was hell giving her medicine. He did so well, though. Because, like, yeah, she was panicking about taking medicine, which is weird because it's the same. We just gave her Calpol. It's the same thing that she's taken a million times before and been totally fine. But for some reason, this time was like, no, I don't want medicine. I'm not taking it. And in the end, Sam was like, what if I have a little bit of the medicine first and then you can have the rest? And she was like, okay. And I was like, that's not gonna work. Why would that help? But it totally did. He like had just like a little drop and she was like, okay, and took her medicine. I was like, oh, well done, Sam. And then today, because her fever, it's still not high enough that it's like dangerous, but it's high enough that it's like that's a fever. And I was like, you're getting pretty hot again, honey. Do you think that we could take some medicine? Expecting her to be like, no. But she was like, I'm not sad anymore, so I can take medicine now. I was like, okay, great. Shall I go get it now? She was like, yeah, can I also have water, please? To drink after my medicine. I was like, That sounds like good preparation. Yes, we can also do that. Oh, platypus, I'm very sorry about that, but I'm glad that you feel that way when you're here. I love child logic. Yeah. Sometimes you just don't know. But I think when they're sick, it's just important to remember first and foremost that they're probably a little scared, and it's much easier for them to be upset, you know. So. Ah. I used to eat pretzels after medicine. Oh, that's an interesting thing. I never minded medicine much, but I didn't like the I mean, this was, you know, by design, but the coating, if it was like for your throat or something, the like syrupy coating that it left in your mouth and your throat, I did not like that. That's why I wanted to drink something afterwards. It had nothing to do with the taste. Kids get to an age where they start bargaining with you. Yeah, but it's awesome. It's really interesting because like that's them thinking, right? I don't know why she said this. Somebody must have said like we must always do what our mummies and daddies say to her, because the other night, oh no, it was yesterday. She and I were just in her room and she was feeling a little bit better. So I was like, I think I'm gonna go like hang up some of your clothes and pick up around your room. Do you want to help me? And she was like, yeah. So we were picking up her room together and I was like, can you put your blocks away and I'm gonna go grab something downstairs? And she was like, yep, like really jazzed to do it. And I came upstairs and she goes, I came upstairs and she was like, don't worry, mommy, I will always do what you say. And I was like, that's not even true. That's not even true. And also, like, if I ask you to do something and you think that it's a silly thing to do, I hope you feel like we can have a conversation about it. That's fine. You don't have to just outright do anything that I ask you to do without asking some questions. But like, I also just know that's a lie. That's not true at all. As of like a few minutes ago. Kids are funny. Oh, it's time for another. I say another as though I've done this many times, but I feel like I've done like 3 so far now. It's time for another. Does this game work for a toddler? So I got this game. A lot of the games that I get say like for ages 5 and older or 6 and older, and I just get them anyway because I understand the way that they're meant to be played, and I think that I can maybe figure out how to adapt it for a toddler. So there's a game called Color Brain. So this is Junior Color Brain, and the way that the game works is basically there are a bunch of cards that are different colors, and then there are questions. The questions are things like the carpet at a film premiere, right? And then the kid would think to themselves like, oh, it's red. And then they would hand you the red card and you would say, yep, it's red, right? So I was like, I bet that this will be, I think, you know, assuming that the questions aren't too crazy, which they shouldn't be because it's the junior version of the, you know, adult game. I bet that this would be really fun for Clark. right? To think about like, oh, what color is that? But here's the thing is some of these questions are like things that I don't even know if adults necessarily know. Like, well, I'm not from here, but a 5-pound note. No fucking clue. Blue, apparently. The Spanish word blanco. Like, I know that, but my kid's not gonna know that. There's no way. The original Joy-Con controllers that came with the Nintendo Switch. Like, I feel like some of these questions are, like, it definitely is ages 6 and older, you know? Is this gray? Oh, red and blue. Oh, really? The gray was alternate? I thought gray was the original, and then red and blue was, like, the next thing. Tintin's dog? That's the other thing is I didn't expect these to have quite so many like pop culture references. There's ones like the Xbox logo and things like that, you know? The gingerbread man in Shrek, the Grinch's nose, the jam Paddington has in his sandwiches. Like they're really specific to like media. So, can it be adapted for a toddler? If you picked out specific questions, for sure. Otherwise, not really. I think it'll still be like fun as like a family-friendly game, like a game that we could play around kids with no problem. But a game that I could play with my 3-year-old, probably not really. Get white masking tape and put over the words to make your own. I would have to, that would be a little weird just because I would have to, I would have to pick up a card and go, okay, green. What's green? So that's easy. But some of these cards have like 3 colors on the back. And then you're like, I mean, like, so the answer is yes. And with the, we had testers for Color Brain, like kind of like a sampling of the game. And that's the only reason that I even looked at it and was like, oh, I know that game. That came with Muddles, which was recommended to us by one of you guys as a game that says that it's for older kids, but can absolutely be played by younger kids. So we had looked at the Color Brain cards, and Clarky could do none of them. So we had to look at the colors that were on the back and be like, the color of a banana, right? Yeah, like card games and things. Did you have favorite board games as a kid? Yeah. My 2 favorite board games, we didn't have any like kids versions of any board games. So there was like an easy version of Trivial Pursuit that I adored. I loved that game. I wanted to play it all the time. But, you know, for the most part, it was me and my parents, and the 3 of us were not going to play Trivial Pursuit together. So Trivial Pursuit, I loved. And I also loved Pictionary, but that was another one that we couldn't play unless there were more people in the house. And then when I got older, my mom and I started playing a lot of Phase 10, which is like a gin rummy sort of spin-off card game. Yes, I'm sorry, that's me. I'm doing this. I'll put it away. And I still play that with my mom when I go home. But really, like, we didn't play a whole lot of board games and things. Are there child-friendly versions of Dixit? I don't know. I haven't played that game in a long time. I kind of forget. There's a game that I actually bought as like a gift for some of the kids for Christmas. And I also got a set for Clarky, but they're called... I did it specifically because one of the reviews, somebody was like... I have a toddler and I thought that maybe my kid would be too young for this, but they actually love them. Story cubes. So you can find all different kinds. There's like different sets with different themes, but they're literally dice. And the dice have different pictures on all sides. And you take a certain number of them and you roll them and you try to tell a story with the pictures that show up on the cubes. Which I think is such a cute idea, and Clarky loves telling stories, so I was like, this is great. I'm gonna get some of these for Clarky, but I also got some of them for a couple of the other kids that are around her age. Right? I think it sounds fun regardless, but yeah. Hi-ho Cheerio? No, I've never heard of that. Oh, Candyland and Chutes and Ladders. I'm remembering now. We had those games too. But it's sad I mostly played it by myself. But I loved those. Clarky does love jigsaw puzzles. I got her a jigsaw puzzle of the world because she has a little globe and she loves to spin it and then try and find where Nana and Papa live. So Oregon, USA. She tries to find where Nana and Papa live, and she also tries to remember where we live. And then occasionally she'll point in the middle of the ocean and go, who lives here? And I'll be like, that's the ocean, honey. So a lot of things that can swim really well live there. But yeah, so I got her a jigsaw puzzle of Zawarudo. So I think she'll love that. It's the brand Rory's Story Cubes. Yes, that is it. In the interest of them being like a bit like compact, like for a gift, I got the Voyages set. But if she really likes them, it's nice knowing that there are like other sets that you can get. This conversation is fantastic for Christmas gifts for my nephew. Nice. Nice, nice. For my nephew that I almost never get to see, who's a bit older, I got him because I've become the auntie that either gets like educational gifts or like kind of gifts that are like out of left field. I got him a fantasy themed choose your own adventure book that has like 4 different fantasy stories inside of it. So I thought that would be good because he's at an age where it's good for him to be reading a lot. I mean, it's good for people to be reading a lot anyway, but you know, something fun to read. And then I also got him a book of mug cakes. It's just a book filled with recipes for mug cakes. So I was like, that's some like easy baking. Like Clarky makes mug cakes with me. That's like an easy thing to make, and he can just make them for himself. I think that would be great. Yeah, I think choose your own adventure stuff is very fun. My little niece, who is about to turn 1, I think, is apparently like really into books currently. So I got her Counting with Frida Kahlo, and I got her ABC, What Can She Be? Because both of those were like really highly rated. What else did I get? A bunch of little like wood dolls and things. A couple of the kids are like really into pretend, you know. So I got lots of just little wooden dollies to play stuff with. I thought you said mud cakes. No. This is like a 9-year-old. This is like an actual recipe book for cakes that you can make in a mug for yourself. Sorry for anybody who hates knuckle cracking noises. How do adventure books work exactly? So I haven't read like a physical choose your own adventure book. I haven't read in a long time. But when I was a kid, the way that they worked is you would start reading a story, and then you would get to a point where it would say, do you want this to happen or this to happen? It would give you 2 choices, or maybe more. It would give you choices, and it would say, if you want this to happen, skip to this page. So you'd be reading, and then the princess would be about to say something. And it would be like, what does the princess say? Does she say, I love you? Or does she say, gotcha, bitch, and stab him, right? Like, which one? Which is it? And then you skip to the gotcha, bitch, and stab him page and continue the book as though that's the way the story is always meant to be told. The only one I ever read was in school. We as a class decided what to do. It was awesome. I love that. I think that sounds so fun. We've talked before, because we've talked about doing reading streams. We've talked before about doing a choose your own adventure like reading stream, where I like read a choose your own adventure book and then chat does a poll to decide what option we do. Yeah, the one that I got, I mean, maybe one of you guys has read this and you can tell me if it's good or not. I already bought it, so it's a series of books called You Say Which Way, and this one is called 4 You Say Which Way Adventures: Pirate Island, In the Magician's House, Lost in Lion Country, and Once Upon an Island. So there are 4 different fantasy stories in the one book. Aren't there also choose your own adventure books that are more complex? Like you have to keep track of inventory? I don't know, but that sounds fun. how big is the book? Probably not huge. It is for ages 9 to 12. So I doubt that it's really long. How many pages is it? 300 for 4 stories that are choose your own adventure. That ain't bad. Will you continue playing Archvale on your own? Yeah, I already have. I've been playing it off stream a decent amount. Fighting Fantasy and Lone Wolf series both have combat and inventory. Interesting. I remember cheating at my Choose Your Own Adventure books because I kept losing. You save scummed. Before save scumming was cool. My girlfriend's mom just signed divorce papers to get out of a bad marriage. We're getting her a scented candle called Freshly Signed Divorce Papers. Amazing. I'm so curious what that smells like. Oh, that's very sweet. Ray is like one of the sweetest people. I did not play any more Voice of Cards. That's one game that I didn't keep playing. Well, again, for anybody who missed it, this Choose Your Own Adventure thing is not for me. I mean, like, I might do a Choose Your Own Adventure book in the future. This was a Christmas gift for a 9-year-old. So no, I'm not actively looking for the more complex, long books. No, I haven't. I mean, like, yesterday I was basically on the couch all day long with my kid, trying to help her through, like, this really bad day of this sickness. Overall, I just haven't had a whole lot of time to, like, really play anything, so... Tunnels and Trolls? On the couch? So you mean Cookie Run? No. No. Because again, my kid is a quality time kid. So when she doesn't feel well, she wants you to watch the exact same thing as her. She wants to be on your lap. And, like, you have to be engaged with what she's engaged with, which is very sweet and very cute. But no, I didn't get to do anything for myself, really. No, it was every germ and bacteria related video that we could find. That's all that she wanted to watch, was bacteria videos and germ videos. And then a couple of them my kid's like really into this right now. Microbes and bacteria and viruses and like all your immune system. That's like the shit that she wants to be watching currently. Which is great. A couple of different videos. They talked about microscopes, and she was like, "Mommy, how do microscopes work?" And I was like, well, they just make things that we can't see very well become much bigger, and then we're able to see them better. And she was like, oh, like germs? And I was like, well, it might be, I mean, you'd need like a really powerful one to see germs. But, you know, even just a normal microscope, you would see some really interesting stuff. And then she just stared at me for a while, and I was like, do you want a microscope? And she was like, yes. It's like, okay, sure, I'll get you a microscope. Yeah, I think that was my first thought as well, was we have a whole box filled with dead bug carcasses. If you haven't been here very often, I'm sorry that this is the way you're finding out about my kids' interests. Yeah, we have the bug graveyard. So I'm like, I bet that would be really interesting to look at under the microscope. Yeah, my kid feels really bad when she finds she finds a dead bug. So there's like this little hut that came with an herb garden set that Sam gave me. I gave the hut to Clark because she wanted it. And anytime she finds a dead bug in the house, she puts it in the hut. It's like this big, and it's got a little door, and she opens the door and she puts it in there, and there's just like moths, spiders, like all kinds of shit in there. And I'm just like, oh gosh. Depending on the microscope, a cool experiment you can do is fill a jar with plant material and water and leave it for a week. Take a drop from the top layer and look at it under the microscope. We did that in a biology lab. Interesting. This is both wholesome and creepy. I know. I agree. I agree, but I haven't discouraged it because two things that I've been concerned about her being like nervous about are germs, and like obviously, you know, we encourage her to wash her hands and things and take regular baths and all of that sort of stuff, but like I didn't want her developing a phobia of germs. So the fact that she finds all of that really interesting, I'm encouraging her interest in that and wanting to learn about it. And bugs. Like if she can feel comfortable around insects and bugs, I think that's great, because that's one of those things that you know, people can develop like really bad reactions to just seeing in the room with them, right? So me included, there are some things where if I'm around them, I immediately start to panic. So I was like, if she can be a little bug whisperer and feel super comfy around bugs, great. So yeah. Yeah, and it's nice because I know that at least in England, there aren't really any spiders that can hurt you. Like not really, you know. So when she finds like a spider or something in the house and picks it up, I'm not immediately going right? I don't have to really panic. Hank Green didn't clean his glasses for a week and showed what was on them under a microscope. I want to see. Spiders in England just hurt your feelings. Yeah, there's also like, I mean, I've said before I used to be like kind of scared of cats because I had only ever been around barn cats. It definitely has to do with like your experience growing up sometimes, for sure. Yeah. Not saying that all barn cats are the worst, but like for whatever reason, our property was a really popular place to dump cats that people didn't want, which is very sad. And if they managed to get to our house, which again, we were like half a mile-ish in from the road. So if they managed to get to our house, they probably had somewhere safe to stay. But, you know, they were like, never again, trust broken, hate humans. I know, but at least, you know, if they hung out in our barn or if they found somewhere near the house to stay, they were probably safe because we normally had dogs. So, you know, a lot of things steered clear of the house because of our dog. Yeah, I keep looking at... Clarky and I have been watching videos of jumping spiders because people have those as pets and they're so cute. And I keep thinking when Clark's a bit older, not anytime soon, but when Clark's a bit older, I think that would be a really fun pet to have. But yeah, so maybe get my kid a microscope. I don't know. This Christmas might be really lit for this kid. Still night troubles. With Clarky? I mean, she's had a pretty decent fever for 3 days, so yeah, the nights haven't been perfect, but it's been very understandable. So, not really trying to do anything specific with her other than make her comfortable. I've also been sick the last 3 days. I hope she gets better soon. Yeah, a couple people have been really sick. I guess 'tis the season. I also hope that you get better. Anybody who isn't feeling well, I hope it passes quickly. keep trying to ask Clarky questions, like, because she'll watch something and she'll be like, Mommy, turn it down. Mommy, turn it down. It's too loud, until you can, like, barely hear it. And so I keep being like, are your ears okay? Do your ears hurt? And she's like, no, it's just too loud. I'm like, okay. I'm just trying to, like, suss out, like, are there other symptoms? Is it just the fever? No, I mean, we've been taking her temperature, so she absolutely has a high fever. Not a super high fever, not like a disturbing number or anything, just like, it's definitely a fever. She's definitely too hot. And it breaks occasionally throughout the day, and then she'll feel okay for a little bit, and then it comes back every time. But like, I've asked if she has a headache. I've asked if she's dizzy, if her head hurts anywhere, if her ears hurt, just trying to ask as many questions as I can. And generally it's like, her nose is a little stuffy, but not by much. Her nose is just a little bit stuffy, and she's got a fever, and she just doesn't feel very good. So I think she's, yeah, I think that she's just been asking for it to be turned down when she hits a point where it's like, I think I want to try to sleep. Ugh, ear infections are the worst. You're a good mom. Could you adopt me? I don't think so. I think I only have the bandwidth for one right now. But thank you. Oh, happy birthday, Nick! Happy 20th. Clark found wine gums somewhere in the house and was like, Mommy, I found your sweeties. I was like, oh, did you? And she's like, I brought you one for later. And she like had just one little sweetie and like put it on the side of the couch and was like, for later though, don't eat it now. I was like, okay. Thank you very much, Clarky. I have seen Spider-Verse, yeah. Very good. I did not eat it. I slipped it in my pocket and I took it back in the kitchen and I found the wine gums and I put it back. I was like, where is this? She's starting to like climb on things all the time now, so I have to be like careful about where stuff is. Hi, I watched you back in the days with Total Biscuit. You three, you, Jesse, and TV meant a lot to my early adulthood. I didn't know you had a Twitch. I do. I love you so much. I can't explain to you how happy I am right now to be able to write this down here. Those 10 minutes of following required to write and chat felt eternal. Salute from Argentina. Welcome. I'm so glad you found us. Yeah, I was thinking yesterday about how I've said this a million times, but like I really need to just sit down and make a video to put on my YouTube channel that's like, hello. I don't do this anymore, but I do Twitch. I really should do that. The number of people showing up being like, I had no idea you had a Twitch. It's just it's too high. It's too damn high. Yeah, if it's been quite a while. I'm married. I have a baby. I live in England now. Life is crazy in a great way. Can you upload / host in some way the Twitch ambassador one? What do you mean? The Twitch ambassador what? Thank you. Thank you, Calvo. That's very sweet. The first Dodger stuff I watched was the dating sims. You are not alone. You are not alone in that. Many people found me through either dating sims, one of the dating sims on the YouTube channel, or Undertale. Those were, I feel like, the two big things that people found me through. How long have you streamed on Twitch? I think I only got here around 2016. I think I started like really streaming a lot in 2015. My account is much older than that because I used to do like occasional big like charity streams, and that's really what I was using it for. But I think 2015 was the year that I actually started consistently streaming. And for a long time I streamed and did YouTube and then dropped YouTube altogether. I do miss Box Talk. Me too. We've talked about how to turn that into a streamed show, which I think would be easy. Yeah, Box Talk, we've talked about how to streamify. Friend Zone was always a stream, but we've talked about how to like make Friend Zone like a smaller sort of single person stream thing. Do I keep in touch with Jenna and Jesse? I haven't talked to Jenna in a long time. I talk to Jesse every single day. I should see how Jenna's doing, though. Oh, yes. I saw... Oh, my God. If you guys want to see the most incredible clip ever, I'm going to put it in the Discord. Hold on. It's amazing. It's so good. Oh, I'll just put it in stream clips. It's not my stream, but oh my god, it's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Copy link. Paste. Okay. I don't even mind if you leave this stream for a second. In our Discord in the channel stream clips is a clip from Jesse's channel that is amazing. it's this emote. Just wow. I like that Swords and Stitches has kind of turned into Thursday study hall. It has, yeah. And I'd like for that. I don't know. It's hard. I think a lot actually about like what I see the channel being like in the future. Like the Twitch channel. And I would love to do like an actual like big craft stream every week. Like maybe in the future replace one of these streams with like basically a craft day, to have time to like really do a bigger project. I think that would be really fun. Yeah, I think about stuff like that all the time because Swords and Stitches started off as like kind of simple projects in the living room, but was basically like a Nerdy Nummies clone. I can admit that now. It was basically a Nerdy Nummies clone, but based on the fact that when I started my channel, I wanted to do news and craft projects. That's what I wanted the channel to be, like way back when I started YouTube. Yeah. Stopped doing the normal Swords and Stitches for a while and then brought it back more like hoifaloiten. It was like much more expensive, much bigger projects, but every single episode was in the red and I wasn't making any money off of it. In fact, I was losing a lot of money. So then I was like, okay, that doesn't work. And I'm okay with its final sort of form at this point, at least, being I just stream projects that I want to do, you know? I do still talk with Umatani. I haven't like messaged him in a while, but yeah, we interact fairly often. I've lived in England for 2 years now. So when we moved early December of 2018. So it's been 2 years now. But most of those 2 years has been pandemic. So I haven't done like a whole lot since moving here, but I am starting to feel more comfortable and more settled. I know, 2 years, crazy. Tell me about it. I finally moved to the city in 2020 only to see my garden. Yeah. Have you hung out with Julia Hardy or Emma Blackery? Like in my life? Yes. In the last 2 years? No. No, I haven't talked to Ro in a really long time. Yeah, it's hard to feel settled in a new place when like when you're so restricted in what you can do. But you know, I'm just very lucky that I'm with my family and that we can be together, so I'm not going to complain too much. But when people yeah, whenever people ask, like, what's England like? Like, I mean, from what I can tell so far, mostly the same. I like the Christmas pumpkin. Pumpkins are all year round. All year round. Yeah, I mean they're just kind of stuck in their run, unfortunately, the chickens, because of the flu. So, I was saying last stream, I think, that I've contacted some people who make coops and runs, like really cool ones, and I've measured an area that I would like for them to build a coop for me. So we're trying to give them like more space to move around, because currently it's just, they're just in the trenches with like poor little muddy feet. So yeah, so I'm getting a better coop and run built, with more space and more coverage and things. So hi, Tina Jima. How are you? I always just tell people I'm new to the city since I don't know where anything is. Yeah. Whenever I go to the store or something and somebody's like, oh my gosh, are you American? Did you move here? I'm always like, yep, I just moved here. Because that's how it feels. I'm not saying it like to purposefully lie, but I always just wind up being like, yeah, I just moved here with my husband. Oh, that's amazing, Pet Elf. Good luck with all that. Yeah. I'm taking the precautions I can at this point and trying to just upgrade their situation so that they're not miserable. I speak English in a fully French community. I'm always that guy in town. I'm learning French though. Yeah. Yeah. There are 100% people who recognize me based on my extremely loud child and the fact that I'm American. 100%. Are loud children not a thing in the UK? Oh, of course they are. Kids are loud, of course. But it's more like my kid has a really distinct accent because it's not quite British or like English, and it's not quite American. And she is very outgoing and wants to talk to everybody and wants to sing songs and all kinds of lovely things at the store that I don't discourage, because why? I would rather that she be having a blast at the store, just a loud blast, than be upset about something. So if she's just being loud but is happy, I'm not gonna do anything about that, right? Yeah, so I think sometimes there are a decent number of people who just kind of know us as like the Americans. People out here also point out that Sam has a twang, which I can't hear because I'm not English, but English people can hear it. It's the English frequency. Sam was in the United States for 5 years, I think. We live pretty far out in the country currently, which I like. It's very quiet. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this before, but I think I can only speak specifically to English people because that's my experience with both TB and Sam. But when English people come to America, there are a lot of words that at first Americans will not understand, and they have to adjust like vowel sounds and things in order to be understood the first time. So Sam had to adjust the way that he said things in order to be easier to understand to people. That is not my situation, right? People understand me easily, really easily. No one ever asks me to repeat a thing, really. So whenever people are like, oh man, do you think your accent's gonna change? Like, yeah, I think it is, but it won't change for the same reasons that Sam's changed, you know? I agree with that. Yeah. It's also because we speak, well, it depends on which region you're in the US, but like Pacific Northwest and just like the West Coast of America in general, we speak a lot slower than English and Australian people do. Yeah. My accent will change 100%. I just think it's going to be much more gradual than maybe Sam's was. I don't know. We'll see. But like there's just so much of the media out here is American, or rather I guess I should say that like a lot of American media makes its way out here. So, you know, British people are listening to Americans talk all the time. It's not hard to understand us, I don't think. Yeah, I think that's normal. Unless you're put in a situation where you need to remember what all of the different accents in a certain area sound like, that's probably not memory space that you're going to use for that, you know? Yeah, I mean, I found that out when I first started coming out here, so I learned that quite a few years ago, but learning how many accents there are in the United Kingdom and how little distance you have to travel to hear a totally different accent was really surprising, because that's not the way America is at all. Like, there are lots of different accents, but like, you know, there will probably be a cluster of states that all sound the same. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's really fascinating. Oh my my God, I'm so excited to eat a pie later. I'm trying to use up everything in the fridge currently. So I made chicken pies. I said that earlier. I made chicken pies, and when basically it's gonna be chicken and biscuit, so it's like a kind of like a creamy like soup mixture, and then right before you bake, you make the biscuit batter and you plop that on top and then bake it. And I was trying the mix before I put it in the little tins to put in the fridge for later, and I was like, God damn it. I needed to taste it to make sure that the seasoning was right, but I'm also mad because I want to eat it now. Oh, yeah. American biscuits. Like bread biscuits. Don't start it, though. Don't take us down that hole. I didn't say it to start a thing. Yeah, they're basically dumplings. In this sort of context, especially, because you just like plop the batter on top and then bake it. I'm traveling south for 2 weeks to see my family. My significant other and I are just finding any way possible to creatively consume the produce in our fridge. Yeah, you do what you gotta do, right? I'm trying to, like, there are certain types of produce that I can buy and I know that I will eat it regardless. I don't need to, like, figure out a specific way to use it. And there are some things that I buy and I have to know what I'm going to use it for. And then there are things like carrots. I just always buy a shit ton of carrots all at once because Clarky eats carrots, I eat carrots, you know, and there's always ways to use them in things. And they last for so long in the fridge, but sometimes because of that, you take a look at them one day and you're like, oh no, I need to use those. Yeah, carrot chips. It's the best. Chooks eat carrots. Yeah. That's also true. If I'm not sure what to do with them, I'll just peel them and chop them up and then freeze them to use in a broth or in a soup later. Emergency pasta with carrots. Are you going away for Christmas? No. Nope. Stuck here still. Yes, broccoli is a, I will 100% find something to do with this vegetable. I will probably buy the broccoli and it will get eaten like the same day. Because Sam loves broccoli, I love broccoli. Clark some days loves it, some days doesn't. Toddlers. So yeah, I will pretty much always just buy broccoli without a plan for it. I do have a dehydrator. I use it more in the summer for like herbs and things. I'm almost out of my basil. I'm so sad because I've been making so many frittatas, dude. I've been making so many frittatas. They're just good and they use up a bunch of eggs. It's great. What's the stream schedule for next week gonna be like? I have no idea. Oh, no, honestly, We put them in curry, like a Japanese curry. I'll put broccoli in curry all the time. But mostly I just roast it. I know it's boring. I mostly just roast broccoli and just eat it that way as a side dish. Thanks for that idea. I have 12 eggs sitting in my fridge that need eating. Yeah. Oh my god. I had never made a frittata before, and then I looked it up and I was like, wait, it's that easy to make frittata? Great. Perfect. Yeah, it's basically quiche, but without the crust. Guys. I got, I'm trying to think of what they would even be called. So you know how like you can vacuum seal food? So I got reusable vacuum seal bags. They're so fun. They're so fun. They come with this they come with this little like plunger basically, and you say that you have it, you know, some of the bags are literally like tiny Ziploc bags. Say that you have some, in my case this morning, some of the celery that you chopped up, you know you're not going to use it anytime soon, but you used as much as you need for your thing, so you want to freeze the rest for a soup later, right? Put them in there, closed it up, and then there's like a little, like an air seal, and you put this little thingy on it and you just plunge it and it plunges all the air out. Oh my god, they're so fun. I saw that on Sorted Food. Oh shit, I didn't see that, but I did get them because I wanted to try them if that's like an option that's gonna work well. But they're very fun. That's just a thick ass omelet. That's also what Sam said. I was like, well, you don't fold it and you don't flip it. You just put it in a pan and you bake it like a cake. And he was like, right, but it feels like it's an omelet. I was like, okay. It's omelet adjacent. Sure, yeah. It doesn't matter, guys. It's just delicious and easy. Takes 15 minutes. According to Google, it's got leftover pasta in it. What does? What? An omelet has milk and a frittata doesn't? The frittata I make has milk in it. Also, the omelets that I make do not have milk. So, I make omelets with water. I put just like the tiniest splash of water in my omelet mixture. You can make frittatas with pasta in them? Hold. Pasta frittata showed up so quick. What the fuck? Leftover cooked pasta? What the fuck? I'm gonna make this. This is literally just, this is just baked carbonara. That's what this is. Me and my old flatmate once made a 24 egg frittata. We had eggs running out the next day and we were blocked up for days. Oh my god. Sometimes you can have too much of a good thing. All egg lovers go through the too many egg stage. All chicken owners go through the too many egg stage, I feel like. Maybe not all chicken owners, but goddamn, this chicken owner. I've had to figure out so many, like, I've never cared about eggs as much as I have to care about eggs now. I ate half a plate of deviled eggs at Thanksgiving. Deviled eggs. I should do that. I love deviled eggs. Oh my god. I should do that. I should make some deviled eggs. That's a great idea. You know what's funny is Tiri was literally talking about this. That her kids have been eating deviled eggs a bunch as like a snack. And I was like, deviled eggs, I should do that. And then it just flew out my ear. You basically you boil eggs and then you take the yolk out and you mix the yolk up with a bunch of other stuff. And then you put that mixture back into the egg. So it's like half eggs with a yummy yolky mixture. And then you go, oh, and it's so good. Let's see what like a standard deviled egg recipe is. Let's see. This looks pretty classic. It appears so, at least. Okay, you mix the yolk with mayo, Dijon mustard, a little apple cider vinegar, and salt and pepper. And then you put a paprika on top to represent the devil, I guess. I have had Scotch eggs. I'm not a huge fan. Scotch eggs are, there's a lot of, at least the ones that I've had, there's a lot of like breading going on with that shit. Like too much breading for me. Yeah, so dry. What's that all about? The components of Scotch eggs are better than the combined thing. I agree. gosh, the what should go in chili conversation is happening again. I'll pretend I do not see. I can't do it again. I don't have the heart. I don't have the strength. No food wars. Not here. They're fine. They're having a chill conversation about beans and chili. I just had flashbacks. That's all. Yeah, I put deviled eggs in my chili. Changed my mind. How do you make mashed potatoes? I've actually never made it. Butter, milk. So the really basic version of mashed potatoes, yeah, is like you boil like big baker potatoes, although you can do it with any potatoes. My favorite potatoes for mashed potatoes are actually red. Red potatoes are amazing for it, but any potatoes are fine. You boil them until a fork easily goes through them, because otherwise mashing them is going to be a pain in the ass. You peel them first, side note, unless you don't want to. This is the thing with mashed potatoes. The world's your oyster. Sometimes people like the skin in there. But typically you peel them, you boil them until a fork really easily goes into them, you drain them, add a pat of butter and start mashing. And then once it's like mashed up a bit, then add some milk, mash, 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 mash. Get it to the creamy consistency that you want. Salt, pepper, and then taste them. And see how you feel. But that's like super basic mashed potatoes. Yeah, I love putting parsnips in with my potatoes. Somebody said they put carrots in. It's really common to put in some garlic or some chives. Some people, along with the milk and the butter, or maybe in lieu of, will use sour cream, or there's lots of different ways to like play around with the mixture. But that's like, yeah, the basic is potatoes, little butter, milk, and you can use non-dairy versions of both of those things, and it still turns out really creamy and delicious. Is sour cream easy to find in stores in the UK? No. I can find it. I haven't been unable to find it, but the amount that you can get is very small. And if I recall correctly, it's called soured cream or something similar. It took me a really long time to find it, but it's not that it isn't there, if that makes sense. An entire stick of butter? I mean, I guess it depends on how many potatoes are in it, but holy shit. Yeah, there is always a US area, like US products. Generally, that's where you'll find hot dogs and Bisquick. And some candies. It depends on the store which candies you might find. Sounds awful. Like the variety? Well, yeah. But, you know, sometimes you find red vines there and it's a delight, so. miss Takis. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This conversation's making me so hungry, dude. I wonder what we have downstairs. Actually, oh my god. There are jalapeno dill chips downstairs. Grab some of them. Can't you have Sam bring you something to munch on? I could, but he's with our very sick kid, and I'm about to take a break anyway, so I would rather that he focus on her, and when I get up to go pee, etc., I can grab some crisps. Yeah, there's I'm trying to remember what the brand is, but there are jalapeno dill crisps here that anytime Sam sees them at the store, he will buy them for me, which is very cute. Get a food, girl. I will get a food, girl. Be right back. What are we playing today? That's a great question. I'll think on that during the break. Hello. What's up? I forgot I made chili. The best. Oh, what a gift to myself. That's the real reason to cook, guys. Or to order a lot of something that you really like so that future you is like, oh my God, you did that for me. Incredible. Oh, that's right. We played the Shovel Knight game last time. Bro, that game was so interesting. I played that. What the fuck is Loop Odyssey? Is this Loop Hero but different? Oh, it's like a true idler. Interesting. I want to play Pocket Dungeon again. Completely different studio. It looks so similar though, which I guess they probably did on purpose. Yeah, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is very fun. I want to play it again. I'm going to say that there is no stream tonight because we do have a sick kiddo and I'm going to try to be there for her as much as she needs while she's trying to sleep, so. she's still pretty sick, yeah. She's okay. When her fever breaks, she's like so excited and she goes super hard and we're always like, honey, you're still sick. Please chill. And then she completely exhausts herself and is like, I'm tired. Dukes has no saltines. I just eat the chili on its own. Okay. I believe we determined, again, I can't, is Pocket Dungeon any good? I'm really enjoying it. It is difficult though. There's a big learning curve on this game. I played it a decent amount off stream. And I have not gotten any better. I don't feel like I've gotten any better. But it is fun. Oh my gosh, where are you? There you are. Yeah, I can't change the warnings. I still can't get into the bot, so. So enjoy the distant sky warnings. They're not reflective of this game. Okay. Let's do our best. Shit. Oh yeah. I'm going to say no spoilers because I still haven't gotten any further. If you want a back seat, feel free. I probably will not see it and you'll probably be spinning your wheels, but if you want to back seat this game, by all means enjoy. Probably tell Sam that I prepped up dinner. Yeah, last stream we did have an issue with people backseating somehow. So. Oops. Whoops. Shoot. Woo! It's not a rhythm game. That's what I keep expecting people to say in chat. It's not a rhythm game. The game encourages you to play it like a rhythm game, but it is not a rhythm game. Which is why it has a weird learning curve to it, because sometimes it's really to your detriment to try and keep up with the pace. Oops. Well. No. So either you move and the game goes faster, or you don't move and the game goes slow. So it's falling no matter what. I still don't even know what the max gem meter is, though. Uh-oh. Oh, no! The music is very vibey, that's true. Oops. You forget when you restart. Okay. I'm a gentle, delicate flower. I have brittle bird bones. Shit. Mild scanners, like a play on mild manners. I don't plan to play Ruined King on stream again, no. All right. No. Do streamers play games when they're not streaming? It depends. If you're my husband, absolutely. ABG, always be gaming. For me, it depends. I have games... I mean, the short answer is yes. I have games that I play basically every day. But, like, whether or not I'll have the urge to continue a game that I played on stream for the first time really depends on the game. Always be leaguing. No, dude. Not like this. I want to do experiment with that just then. Whew. Yeah. Wait, Arno, did Arcane come out when you were still at sea? When you were still voyaging? One sec. I think that was my kiddo. For 5 seconds, huh?
Uh-huh.
5 seconds, I think, is not very long. I think maybe you'd like to play a little bit longer than that. What are you doing? Okay, chat, we've got a visitor.
I want to play for 40 minutes.
40 minutes is a lot. There's got to be an in-between, my love.
8 and 1. What number? Can you think of a number between 8 and 1?
Between 8 and 1?
Yeah.
How about 6?
Uh-huh, yeah.
That is a number between 8 and 1, isn't it?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to play for 6 minutes?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try it then. I'll show you how it works. Okay?
Okay.
Here, do you want to put the headphones on?
Yeah.
So
Yes, please.
so you can hear it.
Yes,
The
please.
music's really fun, I think. Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll turn it down just a little.
Do you have to get your skeleton?
Yeah, so all of the things on the board are little baddies that are trying to hurt us.
You got a treasure set.
I did. Ooh, it went into a shop. Shall I get this?
Yeah.
We can't afford the cute pink things, unfortunately.
Let me fly.
Here you go. So you use this one to move yourself around. There you go. Good job. Yeah, so you can move down, you can move up.
I got one.
Yeah, you bonked a little ghost. So the ghosts, their thing is that once you bonk them once, they're invisible, so you can't hit it again.
Oh.
So you'd have to hit something else. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I got it.
Good job. Okay, go up. There we go. And then hit the ghosts again. Oh no!
Oh no.
That's okay. We can try again, can't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Let's try again.
What does this button do?
Which one?
This one.
It doesn't do anything. You just move around in this game. So, we got little skeletons and we got little buggies. And we got some rocks. These brown blocks are just rocks.
This music's really fun.
You like it? I like it too. It's very bouncy, huh? So, you could go down one. There you go. And then you could hit these blocks here. Oh, that works too. There you go.
got a
Yes.
buggy.
Good job. You got the buggies. And if you hit to the side, you'll get these blocks and they'll go away. There you go. Well done. Oops. Oh! So after we've hit something a couple of times, these little red pots here, they're like medicine. So we have to take some medicine so that we don't get hurt too much. So we'll try again. So do you see all the little pots now? So after you've hit a buggy or a skeleton, try and grab a little pot of medicine. Wow, good job, Clark. Got some medicine.
After I hit the buggy, that's what you told me.
Yeah, you're learning very quick. Well done.
Ooh.
So,
Look,
so you can go down one. What's that?
looks pretty tricky.
It looks tricky.
You don't want to get gold ones.
This guy? Yeah. But there's a space right under you, so you can go down one. There you go. And then you could hit the buggies that are off to the side, maybe. Yep, you got that buggy. And then take medicine. There you go. And then you can hit the buggies that are where the medicine was. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Well done. Take some medicine. Hit a buggy. You can hit the blocks.
Oh.
Yeah! And then you can scooch over and hit these buggies after your medicine.
I think I need some more medicine.
Yeah, and now hit the buggies. There we go. Well done, Clarky. Wow, good job.
Now I need some medicine again. Take some medicine.
Good job. Clarky, look at you. You're learning so fast.
Why don't we want to get that guy?
It does a big explosion. Ba-boom! Oopsies. That's okay. Can I have a turn? Would you like to watch me do it? Okay.
Yep. I love this game.
It's fun, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna go slow. I'm gonna go to the buggies and I'm gonna hit them. Boop, boop. Wow, so many buggies went away that time. And the little dirt blocks don't hurt me, so hit that. And then I'll hit the buggies. But then I need medicine. And hit the buggies. Hit some blocks. Gonna wait until these buggies are all together. Boop, boop.
I think you have to get all of your buggies away first.
Oh, the buggies happen first. Okay, before the skeletons. Oh, look, there's little.
Look at those go away things!
Yeah, look at those gooey things. What are they? They leave yucky stuff on the ground, so after you hit them, you don't want to go where they were. Oops! Oh, I didn't take my medicine. Oopsies.
Oh, mommy.
Poor mommy. Would you like to try again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So, what is this?
If you go down, you'll hit all of those buggies at once. So go down and then hit. Boop. Boop. Whoa. Look at all that. Well done.
You can have a turn now.
Okay.
We're taking turns, aren't we?
We are taking turns. Get all of that and some medicine. And then hit some buggies and some medicine. Your turn.
Buggy.
Well done.
Uh-oh.
You could go up. You could hit up and get rid of all of those dirt blocks. There you go. And there's medicine right above you now. And you could hit those skeletons next to you. Good job. But now you need medicine, so don't hit anything else. The dirt block, remember, won't hurt you. So you can hit up. Yep, and then move up. Oops. Oh, that buggy went there. That's rude. Okay, instead we're gonna go this way. So go over that way. Oops. No!
I didn't take my medicine.
That's okay. You got trapped. There wasn't any medicine around you. That happens sometimes, doesn't it? Shall we do one more level together?
Yes, please.
Okay, great.
What does this one do?
Let's see. Oh, it's a little spyglass. Interesting.
Let me see.
Yeah, try it.
Spyglass.
Ooh. Oh, I see. So you can get a close-up look at whatever's around you. Okay, you're gonna get trapped by the buggies. So maybe attack a buggy so that you can get out of there. You gotta use this one here. It's bedlam now. Big gamer hours.
I also hit anything else.
You can grab your medicine.
Uh-oh. Oh no, a bug I want now.
It's okay. I'll grab the medicine.
Hit a block. Lots of medicine.
I know, so much medicine. Lucky us.
Whoa, Mommy!
Chest. What's inside?
Maybe.
Would you like to try using it?
Mommy,
Yes,
can
honey.
you slide it?
Try. Oh, the magnifying glass. Yeah. See, look. It shows the little globby thingy. And then it shows the beetle
Attack.
and the skeleton.
It's free.
Yeah, it freezes them. That's right. Good observation.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, Fat.
We got out! Did you say hi, chat?
Yeah.
We
We did it.
did it! The winner! Well done, Clarky Worky. Okay, let's head downstairs. That was fun though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh no, I left you with no music. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know because my kid was the one with the headphones on. I doomed you to silence. I'm sorry. Oh, Clarky. Okay. Well. I can't believe I killed myself with my with my own item. Yeah, it's so funny when your kid starts talking like you. Like, I think it's pretty obvious that she's my kid. There we go. Yeah, it's honestly one of the most interesting things for me is trying to play one of my games with Clark. You know, obviously a game like this requires a certain amount of like reactivity. So you have to just sort of throw that out the window, but you really get a look at like how their brains work, you know? Oh, shoot. I'm getting better at this game. I feel like I am, but I am not making any progress, if that makes sense. Like, I haven't gotten any further than I was last time I streamed it, even though I've been playing it off stream. But I feel like I'm more intuitively, like, making the correct choice, if that makes sense. How are you, Brett? Aside from stressing out about endgame stuff, I'm sure. Oh no. Well. I haven't unlocked any other nights. I don't know. I'm not sure how to unlock other nights. I assume I have to get further than I am. I assume they're gated behind like a certain level. Oh my god, I have 4 keys. Ugh. Oh, I haven't played anything outside of adventure mode, no. Maybe that's the key. Shoot. Okay, wait. So if I quit versus mode, actually, yeah, I can't select any other nights. And there still isn't anything in here, right? No. God. I guess I just... I'm having trouble progressing as far as they need me to like keep unlocking stuff. Look at all the money I have. No, Brett said he's going to work. Goofballs. Shoot. I'll bite you dudes anytime. No. Shoot! Yeah, I'm trying to think what day. I guess I played this Tuesday night. I didn't get to do anything yesterday. Except be on Gobos. Which was a nice respite from sick child duty. Side note, since he's here. Shout out to Brett, who, so on the last episode of Misdemeanor, on the last exciting episode of Misdemeanor, my kiddo was having a lot of trouble, and I missed, like, really all the important stuff, in the episode, and I was really bummed about it. And I expressed as much to Brett, and was like, is there any way for me to, like, be able to still contribute to, like, this conversation? No spoilers. And he let me come on to Gobos early and have, like, a mini solo session, which was so lovely. So I did that 15 minutes before Goblins started. If any of you guys watch Goblins of IO, I'm on that episode last night. So thank you, Bretto. Yeah, it was good. I was happy with it. I didn't do it for you, Baka. Yeah, you did it for the story. I know, I know. Oops. Goofball. Oh my god. Duger. Okay. Just some gentle stimming. Shit. The stimming didn't help. When, yeah, Bone Clangs, goddamn. When I was younger and I used to play Tetris all the time, I literally couldn't play that game without rocking. And so sometimes when I play games like this, my brain is like, this would be better if we were rocking. It's not. I'm the same. It's the same level of skill. This game is hard. It's fun though. Okay, I'm gonna save that until there's more bitches in the yard. Never mind. I'm gonna die. Haha! Turns out the yard is full of bitches. Thank God for that extra health. We haven't been seeing any griffins. Why did I do that? Oh goodness. The Bim Bam goof in my chat. Say it ain't so. Dukes, please. What? What? What do you want to say? What's brewing in there? Not watching my health. It's so hard to track my health in this game for some reason. Dukes, please have a good day. Thank you, Brett. I will. I will. I will have a good day. Have a good day, Dodger. No. Have a good day. I won't. Now you're playing Pocket Dungeon. How does it feel? Is it fun? Pocket Dungeon is super fun to play. It feels really nice to play. There is 100% a learning curve. And I'm starting to, because like, is it possible that I'm just not good enough at the game? Yeah, absolutely. But like, the pace of the game halted for me really quickly. Like, I haven't had any progression in the game in a while. Like, even back at, like, the base camp of the game, if that makes sense. My God, griffins go away. Another day, another Final Fantasy 14 queue. Oh my God. So I went to queue up at like 8 o'clock on Tuesday, I think. And it took like maybe 15 minutes for me to get through queue, which is much better than I expected based on what people based on what people had told me. So, that was nice, but literally like Tiri tried to re-queue because of X, Y, and Z reasons. That I'm not gonna go into. Tiri tried to re-queue about an hour after that and was nearly 3,000 in queue. So when y'all say that like after 8 it's kind of a crapshoot, you are correct. Yeah, Sam like goes to queue up for it like at least 2 hours before he intends to play. So when I was like, oh, I haven't queued up yet, he was like, you fool. It's like, what do you mean you haven't queued up yet? Yeah, I think Tiri was trying to get in around 4 Eastern time. Right? Yeah. I need to go potty in a second. I know we've taken so many breaks today, but look, my kid showed me she's a god gamer, so I had to step away for true gamer hours. Now you might say, well, Dodger, true gamers don't poop. I've also heard this. Not everybody can be Clarky, guys. Yeah. True gamers make a 24-egg frittata and then get backed up for just long enough that their body starts to reabsorb the poop. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. Also, I can't remember who it was, but shout out to the person who made a 24-egg frittata and told us that story. I'm sorry that I used your information as a goof. Okay. What are you guys talking about? Nothing? My eyebrow wiggle game is terrible. Like, that's not clean at all. The second I try to speed it up, it's bad. Anyways. Shush! Warm Me Up by Harris Heller. Okay. I've got 50 minutes left of the stream, and you might say, Dodger, you're getting your time mixed up again. I am not. I am not getting my time mixed up again. We've been putting off decorating the tree for the whole week so far because Clarky hasn't felt well, and we kept saying, okay, well, we'll just wait until she feels better. And she still doesn't feel well, and she's really upset and sad that we have not, that we haven't done the tree yet. And so we were like, well, it'll probably make her, you know, it'll probably cheer her up. So I'm going to end a little early so that the three of us can put together the tree and everything finally. So that's the plan. Oh, Arnar said, hey, well, I remember I made a new guild in Cookie Run Kingdom called Dexguards. Invite only, same with the other guild on Hollyberry. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, the OG guild is full up, or I guess now not full up, but... So that's lovely. Thank you, Arnar. Whoops. Lots of freezy wheezies. Dang it. We haven't talked about Cookie Run today, no. Clarky put together her own Cookie Run team. So I've once again stalled my own leveling process because I'm trying to level her characters at the same time. But she's got a pretty effective team. They're doing all right. They're doing all the dark side quests for us. So she'll be like, Mommy, can I play the cookie game? And it's very cute. That's awesome that they can stack. So if you get another of the same item, you can just stack it. I like that. No, we're not doing a tree decorating stream. This is quiet family time, not stream time. Mm. Hmm. Okay, let's go. Let's leave. Yeah, her group is very cute. It's Parfait. Let's see. Parfait, Carrot, Princess. She had the twirly whirly girl. The one who's really good in PvP, the blue and pink one. Had her and then was like, I think maybe she's a bad guy. So she took her out. I was like, damn. The blackberry cookie, the like maid one, and then who's the last one in her team? Is that it? Parfait's the healer. No, there's one more. Who else is in that back row? Hold on. So that you all truly know the Clarky meta for Cookie Run. Oh yes, there's PvP in Cookie Run. Oh yes. In fact, there's 2 forms of PvP currently, but one of them's a seasonal like event. Okay. Wait, gotcha. Oh, a free gift. Oh, right. Everything swapped over. Oh! It's Tiger Lily Cookie is the other one. Who, by the way, I'm loving more and more. The more that you buff her, she's so strong. Anyways. That's the Clarky team. You're welcome. For any of you who would like to try the Clarky meta of the game. Shit! The new one, I think Arnar said, is called Dexguard. But if you join the thread in our Discord about Cookie Run, you can get Arnar's friend info, and then he'll be able to add you. Yeah, there's a bunch of coffee-themed cookies, and I don't have any of them. I'm slightly offended. Oh, well. Yeah, there's also a server on vanilla as well. Or a guild on the vanilla server. As a community, we've gotten really into this game. Yeah, there's latte cookie and espresso cookie, and I think there is a mocha cookie, maybe? No, that's not what I wanted to do. I was trying to get that pot. Go to the gaming channel, and there's a thread inside of the gaming channel. If you haven't used threads before, you can look them up. They're like a newer aspect of Discord. But there's a thread that is specifically about Cookie Run. And inside there is some pinned info. I don't know if the info for Arnar's guild specifically is in there, but there is a list of players that has Arnar's username on it. Come on, Cookie Run, sponsor a stream. Come on. Bye, Trevor. Good night. Okay. It's very fun. Yeah, I bet it's perfect for the Switch. Hmm. So, this is the thing that keeps me from buying this. I never buy this item, and it's because a lot of times, I guess at this point, most things die in 3 hits, but also I can't tell if this game is claustrophobic. I mean, yeah, it's a game where stuff is dropping from the ceiling. I don't know what those sorts of games are called, but yeah, if you don't like that sort of stuff, you will not like this game. Nope, not happening. Bye. Da, 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 da. Oh. One sec. My kid hurt herself and wants a hug. Hello. Okay. What am I doing? All right, okay. I do have 2 keys. Oh my god. Shoot! I'm playing it on PC. No music. You can't hear the music? They are in the basket in the cupboard where we keep the ramen. She was climbing on top of her bike, and the bike was rolling away while she was on the bike. So I moved it. There was music while I was on BRB. It's just quieter. I'm just delighted Clarky's eating. All I could get her to eat this morning was a banana and a couple bites of toast. So I was like, man, I really hope that she eats something today. Ooh! I do like this thing. I only get to use it twice, though. Oh, I can't even take... all right. Okay, I have 4 keys. So maybe I can open that door. Let's go, Pocoyo. That means, oh no, you're trapped too. Perhaps we can solve this together. Take a look. This shrine holds a key fragment. They seem to be important, but I'm not sure how they relate to defeating this pocket dungeon master. Someone is hiding something from us, some sort of foul play. It's just a suspicion, but keep your eyes peeled. A camp, you say? A wise first step. Very well, I will head there at once. Yay, we did it! Finally. I'll help protect the camp. Nothing will get through me. Okay, let's go. Can't believe my waifu is in here. And I didn't know about it. Awkward. No! Well, that's fine. There's a reason to go back to camp. Bump them twice to switch characters. I can't believe you still don't have any gear. I brought you a new knight. Unreasonable. Wait, where is she? Up here? Oh, there she is. Okay, let's go. Cool. Here we go. Here we go. She has less health, but I think... Yeah, gain a barrier after chaining. Survive 1 fatal blow per level. And reduced max HP. Yeah, so her shield is higher, but she has less HP in general. Not anymore, bitch. Oops. Oh, the poison killed me. No! Again. Yeah, I assumed all of the knights would get their own mechanics. I feel like it would be silly otherwise, right? Cool. Yeah, it's not a rhythm game, but it kind of encourages you to play it like a rhythm game. Yeah, they give you boopy music. They only let you move like one place at a time. Great. Uh-oh. No. Well. What are feats? Oh, save everyone from the pocket dungeon as Shovel Knight. There's so many knights! Okay. Look away. Look away. Look away. Not now. But I could see this game becoming... The sorts of games that I want to play are games where I don't have to think too hard. And that's the sort of game that, like, after a while would become kind of... I don't know that muscle memory would be the right term, but like eventually I think it would be kind of like Tetris, where it's like, yeah, you had to think while you were learning, but once you've learned it, you don't have to think anymore, you know? Well, when I'm... Oh, blood. I could have kept that to myself. My kid had a nosebleed, and so I wiped her nose with my shirt, like parents do, and decided to say blood out loud. Could have kept it to myself. I've lately been playing a lot of Radical Dungeon Sweeper, Slay the Spire. Those are really the two main ones. And neither of those I really... both of those games are pretty head empty for me. Oh, blood. John, I was telling everybody at the start of the stream that Clark has now asked for a microscope for her birthday. So I guess I'm getting her a microscope for her birthday. She's been watching, like, constantly. She wants videos about bacteria, the immune system, microbes. Like, those are the three buzzwords. Germs is the other one. She asks about all of those and wants to watch videos about those constantly. And I'm like, okay. And then I was saying that, like, in some of the videos, they use microscopes, right? And she was like, Mommy, I want a microscope. And I was like, yeah. She was like, so I can see germs. And I was like, well, I don't know that the type of microscope I would get. Like, if I was going to get you a microscope, which I would love to, by the way. If I was going to get you a microscope, I don't know that you would be able to see germs right away with them. I think you need something a bit more powerful than, like, baby's first microscope. But you would be able to do fun things like put gross water on a plate and look at it. And she was like, yeah. If you go to a pond and get a little water and put it on the slide, you can see all sorts of critters. Here we go. Gross water, I'm in. Okay. Let's read off everything, and then I'm going to go set up a tree with my family. We've put it off for too long. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Pasta frittata. I got to... Wait. Hold on. I need to open that back up so I don't forget about it. Because I want to try this shit. Okay. Good. Winter sent a Valentine and said, it's easy to get down at Christmas times when you're unable to see family or friends for the second year in a row, or maybe school results are making you feel down. But remember, you matter, and there are professional people you can call in any country that you can talk to about feeling blue. So don't feel like any topic isn't important. If it makes you feel bad, then it's important enough for them to listen. You are important. You matter. Reach out if you need to. Yeah, Christmas, well, the holidays can be really hard, especially when people aren't able to see each other very easily. Okie dokie, artichokies. Had a decent amount of stuff in the activity feed. Oh, yeah. This all started because of Kurzgesagt. So don't worry. We know about those videos. She asks to watch the microbe video at least once a day. I've learned so much about gut health. Cappy J, thank you for the 9 months. Happy Twitch baby. Alex Ratman, thank you for the 61. Mighty Deacon, thank you for the 4 years. Happy anniversary. No, sit. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much for the support and the love. Silent Jake, thank you for the 13. Clarity for the 19. J Pretorius for the 4 years as well. Happy anniversary. Thank you very, very much. Simeon Wizard, thank you for the 34. Morgenstern for the 19. Gimelaresh for the 82. Kira Gathar for the 16. Kai Theron for the 34. Ectrix for the 50. Leandro for the gifted sub. Athulu for the 10. Ruby Rach for the 39. Ara Harako for the 49. That guy you know for the 25. Call Me Fletch for the 10. Assassin Duck for the 17. Therodel for the 50. Von Monocle for the 66. Earl Grey for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Thank you very, very much for the support. Ravenblade, thank you for the 91. Goddamn. Burgazelle for the 2 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much. Ramix, thank you for the 2. Captain Denatrondos, thank you for the 41. Major J03 for the 53. Emmett Newman for the 11. Tina Jima for the 88. Dark Forsaken for the 69. Tatters for the 2 years. Happy anniversary, and also thank you for the gifted sub as well. Sir Chunks for the 59. Leonscape for the 79. Awesome Le Possum for the 42. Poldy for the 49. Whale Stomp for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much for the support. Zeraniva for the 35. Arnar gifted a sub to Brett. Thank you very much, Arnar. Fireema for the 69. Kit Kat for the 2 years. Happy anniversary. So many anniversaries today. Thank you guys very much. Dorlucas for the 55. Avi for the gifted sub to Trevor. Fid Tech for the 66. And Jane Bug Twitch for the 3 months. Thank you guys very, very much. Avi would like us to raid Jossum. Don't gotta tell me twice. Jossum's lovely. Doing some art, most likely, but I know sometimes they game. I'm going to take off and set up a tree with my family. I'm just going to say no stream tonight. I was going to say, like, maybe a stream, but I don't want anybody waiting around for me if it turns out there's nothing. So we'll say no stream. So next time that I see y'all will be tomorrow. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.